consider hitting the subscribe button down below, as well as the bell notification right next to it. Thank you.
This week on Trinity MMO Show, daily quest with the game masters, the main story quest, where has the magic gone, escort quest, why do you still play MMOs, and world events. Welcome to the Trinity MMO Show and episode 45. So glad you came to join us for some good old MMO news. And by the way, if you don't know, the Trinity in this show's title refers to a group of three closely related persons or things of threes. In our case, there are three of threes. The first Trinity is the Holy Trinity, the first Trinity of God the Father, God the Son, and God the Holy Spirit. The second set of threes is if we are MMO players are with the Trinity of tank, healer, and DPS.
Do it all over again. Start all over.
And the third set of threes is you count it as three of us. 1, 2, 3. And then you count that. That's three. There he said, oh my gosh, that Trinity's coming out all over the place.
We say that again?
You got Trinities coming out all over the place. As always, we have our MMORPG experts here to guide you and me because I need help too, okay? First up, we have Sir Jazeel with his dog.
Hello.
Next is our resident YouTuber and at Coffee RPG, Solomon XK.
Yep.
And then there's me, Kenneth. Each week we quest with you with our top picks and MMO opinions.
I actually looked that up on YouTube. Somebody already coined that phrase.
Really? Of course
Yeah.
they did. I should change it then.
I don't think it's copywritten or anything. I'm just saying I just saw
Nothing new under the sun.
Pretty much.
I'm sure Solomon said it thousands of years ago, okay? Not this Solomon, but the other Solomon.
Yep. He was playing MMOs back then too.
Yeah. And I was just thinking, even though we're hearing Jazeel during the intro doing stuff,
Sorry.
I can cut him out in post. If I wanted to. I don't know.
I had two teenagers and a dog in here doing stuff.
Teenagers and dogs. There you go. All right. Anyway, let's hit the button for our first thing. That is right. It is time for our daily quest. Okay, this is where your Trinity game masters start your adventure. Okay. First off is me. New world. Will it or won't it? Hey, I don't know. But guess what? There was a big alpha update that came out and adds more for the in-game content for if you're over 51. I'm not. I had to restart again because alpha does wipe some stuff out. But hey, Bad Guy from Aladdin, Will Jafar will be having a show sharing stuff on Sunday at 7 p.m. on his channel. So go there, put some more. Comic-Con, you know, the Comic-Con, they canceled WonderCon for 2021. But guess what? There's a free online event. They're still saying there will still be a San Diego Comic-Con this year, okay, in November, but we'll see. But if you want to, March 26th, 27th, next week is WonderCon for 2021, so do that, okay?
Kind of doubt
it. At this point, because guess what? The Gaming Community Expo, what was used to be called Guardian Con in Orlando, Florida, decided to not have a live event this year in mid-June. They're going to space. You can pay $59, create an avatar, and walk around a space station, going to all the different things you would do normally, anyways. Okay, so mid-June for that.
Didn't
Blizzard
Richard Garriott do something similar like that?
Maybe
Lord British. I thought when he was making Tabula Rasa, like you could send them something, and he went to space on a Russian rock. Anyway, sorry, Dad, I didn't mean to cut you off.
Maybe he did. That's fine. Whole point
I
of this
remember
is,
that.
Yeah. Well,
so, you know, with Blizzard having their BlizzCon online, you know, they announced that they're going to do Burning Crusade. People were saying, and they said, by the way, we're not going to force everyone to upgrade to Burning Crusade. They want to basically have, you know, characters that stay in regular, classic, or going on, okay? But ton of people were like, what the? I want a fresh start. What? Fresh start. Yeah, I want a fresh start server. So guess what? Blizzard said, no. Well, not yet. Hey, you got a phone, right? No. Anyways, people decided to take it upon themselves. They went to a low pop Europeans PvP server on March 5th. And they all went over there and fresh started. Oh man, the community just finds ways to make it happen, okay?
Oof.
Blizzard is hiring. That's right. If you want to work on a new IP, PC console game, it's in development, go do it. But if you're looking for a job in esports, sorry to say, Blizzard fired a lot of people that are esports because guess what? With COVID, they found out that a lot of folks will tune in and watch, and there's money coming in. So why have live events or as much? So unfortunately, they also let people go. So they're hiring and they're firing, same time, depending on the job you want, okay? Elder Scrolls.
Sorry, didn't they also give like the CEO a $200 million bonus too?
Of stock options.
Oh, is that what it is?
He was already guaranteed that several years ago.
Oh,
so
well,
it was just bad timing.
Yeah.
Very bad optics.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
So ESO added 3 million users in 2020. 3 million users. ESO. Everyone talks about what is a WoW killer, okay? What can be the WoW killer? ESO having 30 million in over 20 million actual people have played at times. They were currently lifetime accounts totaling over 8 million. Wow. Elder Scrolls Online is here and it's going to stay for a lot longer because we won't talk about Rift today, okay? But who knows? Next up, Soulbound Studios. The makers of Chronicles of Illyria, the on again, off again. Oh wait, is it still on again development? A Kickstarter game, okay? Well, apparently they sure to look, not at the game, but at the overall gameplay cadence of Kingdoms of Illyria, the standalone colony management sim title that is being developed in parallel with the MMORPG. All right, if they're running out of money, they want to find a way to keep the game going, so be it. I know Mark Jacobs from Camelot Unchained, Cityscape Entertainment took a lot of crap for developing a game that would help pay for the bills, that they're using their new engine for Camelot. And so to me, I'm like, no big deal. Okay, so maybe the people from Soulbound Studios taking a page out of the playbook. That is Mythic Entertainment. No, sorry. Cityscape Entertainment. Sorry, I wasn't trying to go back to old school Camelot, but Camelot. Anyways, that's it for me, my dailies. So, Jazeel, it is now your turn.
Oh, I thought you were going to sing the song Camelot from the play.
Well, I started to, but I decided not to.
In Camelot.
Yep.
Yes, we don't want to get DNCA'd.
Rex, not Rex Harrison, Rex. Who was it? He was the first Dumbledore, okay, before he passed away.
Yes, he was.
Rex Harrison, My Fair Lady, it's...
We'll get back to you.
All right. Anybody who's watching this on YouTube or Twitch, let us know what you're talking about, and let us know, and we'll get you a I don't know, just a hello. Great.
Yes.
Anyways,
so
Azil, your turn.
Yes. As you all can tell, I'm not too enthused about the Kingdom of Illyria thing going on, but whatever they got to do, eventually we'll get the MMO of it. I think maybe. And San Diego Comic-Con, I know that they're saying that, but I think it's really wishful thinking because our governor right now, although he's got lots of votes to oust him out of office, if he's still in there, we're not getting San Diego Comic-Con this year, guys. And I'm very sad because my
November.
My tickets from last year, they're super cool. If you remember, we did talk about it on the show. They did go ahead and say, if you want to be reimbursed, you want your money back, we'll give you your money back. If you want us to advance the tickets for next year's show, we'll do that. And that's what I opted for. And supposedly you can still get a refund if you think it's just not going to happen and you want your money back to buy a computer desk or something, which is what I did.
It's troubling because of the fact that the San Diego Comic-Con is November. TwitchCon is in September.
True.
That's what I want first,
That's true. I hope it does happen. You all know. I've talked about it before. San Diego Comic Con. I mean, BlizzCon is always that's gonna be my love. But that Comic Con down in Southern California is pretty epic, guys. If you can ever make it, if somehow in that first 15 minutes the tickets go on sale and you get one, awesome. So about there was lots of little news. Some of it we already covered, or Kenneth just covered, and I'm just assuming Solomon's going to cover the other stuff. But I did want to mention this one thing because the charity that the money is going to is very close and dear to my heart. I have several friends in the medical profession that help out with this organization, and that organization is Doctors Without Borders, the MSF portion of that. There are several different ones around the world that are through the same umbrella, I guess you could say, right, Ken? Anyway, what they're doing right now, we've mentioned the pets. I think Kenneth and I mentioned it during the BlizzCon line, if I'm not mistaken, was when they announced the 2 new pets. The way that they're going to work now, they had to clarify it because there were a bunch of confused people on how to get them, including myself. But now they've made it very clear on their website as well as on Doctors Without Borders website. If you want to look that up, you can. It's going to be pretty easy to do. I did have this site up right now. Well, I had it up and it scrolled back up to the top. So right now, actually, let me refresh it because this is from an hour ago. Maybe they got more money, but right now, in order to get that first pet, Bananas, which is a vanity pet, it's a monkey, really cute, cool looking thing, updated graphics and everything. It looks pretty cool. I definitely want it. Once they reach the 500,000 mark, that will be given automatically, whether you donate it or not, to everyone that's subscribed currently to World of Warcraft. And right now they are sitting at 365,681 USD raised from 655 participants. There are some streamers right now that are, helping raise awareness of that and make money for Doctors Without Borders and to get up to that level to get that pet. Now, there is a stretch fund that if they get 1 million, that will open up that sloth, which I wrote it down in the notes. I'm forgetting her name. I think it's Daisy. Daisy, yes. Once they get to 1 million USD, which they're probably going to make. There's a lot of people pushing for this. So that will also be given to everybody who's subscribed to World of Warcraft. So it's a pretty cool thing, but it is more than just about the pets. The pets are super cool. That's a nice little extra little thing that you get. It's digital. It's not like you get a plushie or anything, although that'd be really cool. And these are just vanity pets, as far as I know. They're not battle pets. The sloth is kind of like a backpack that you'll wear, and it'll just kind of sit on your back and look around, and probably not do the other thing that sloths do. As you know, they like to poo a lot and stuff. So hopefully they won't be doing that behind you as you're walking around Shadowlands with it on your back. But anyway, I'm just being silly there. The pets, however, are not going to be available to Classic. So all of you that are playing Classic right now or coming back for Burning Crusade, it's not going to be on there. It's only for the modern retail incarnation of World of Warcraft. So you do have that little caveat there. But I can say Doctors Without Borders is legitimate. You can definitely look it up if you want to. There's charity websites that show which charities are like the good ones that actually use their money appropriately and don't just hand it to a CEO or somebody to go buy a huge giant yacht. Like I said, I have several friends that work with Doctors Without Borders, so I can tell you from a firsthand perspective, they do amazing, awesome work. As a matter of fact, my dentist has done work for them
Mm.
as well, and he's a very, very cool dude. And they're beautiful blessings all around the world. And so it's a very worthy organization. I think you can make that up for yourself if you think so or not. But if you can give $1, give $1. If you can give 10, give 10. Whatever you can give, and just if you can't give, then maybe at least go on Twitter, go on Facebook, go on wherever you kids go these days. I don't know. There's so many different social avenues to travel and let people know about it. Maybe even people that don't play World of Warcraft might want to donate to the cause and help these guys, with their travel expenses and medical expenses and all these other things. Because most of these doctors do not take any kind of pay. They're volunteering time. And a lot of them do pay for their own flights and whatnot. So this is going to help so that they don't go broke helping people out. Although a lot of them would be perfectly happy going broke helping people out. That's why they're in the medical profession. But yeah, I just wanted to bring that to everyone's attention this week, and that's all I've got.
All right, that's pretty cool. Good cause, and then you might get something out of it, especially if you play World of Warcraft retail. All right, time to head to Solomon, not _SK. Apparently Solomon SK now. Okay, no, it's Solomon space SK, not Solomon _SK.
Right. It's SOLOMONSPACESK. That's
No, don't spell
exactly
the
what.
word space. Okay. Anyways, yeah. Okay. Anyways, Solomon. I was at first going, what is this now? Solomon SK. Okay, fine. Doesn't work. Oh, what? Oh, it's space. Okay, I get it.
If you guys don't know what we're talking about, I made a new Discord. Anyways,
Yeah, I saw that, and I first thing I went to wait. Oh, wait, the Discord we were using for WoW is gone. Okay.
it's okay. You could use GMA's Discord, right?
Well, see, Godfuzz is not in GMA, so we were using a
What the
third
heck?
Yeah, we were
party.
using yours.
Yeah.
The heck, Goffaz? Anyways,
I don't know. Fuzz is fuzz.
All right. Daily quest from our good friend Solomon SK.
Excuse me. There's a new class out already for Black Desert Online. It's a sage class. He's pretty powerful. I haven't really dabbled too much with the new class, but from what I can tell, I definitely like it a lot better than the previous new class that they released, which was the Nova, which I'm still trying to get to level 61 because there's not enough hours in a day. Yeah, I don't know what Black Desert Online is doing. In my opinion, they're releasing these new classes way too fast. But hey, I guess it just is what it is. Let's see. In terms of MMO news, I mean, I guess there really hasn't been a whole lot. I mean, I guess Rift, as Ken alluded to earlier, they're celebrating their 10th anniversary with certain events and stuff like that, which is pretty interesting. But then again, this is Gamago or Gamago, wherever you're from, however you pronounce it. We're talking about, and they did axe 4 MMOs, or they announced they're going to axe 4 MMOs about a month ago or so. So I really don't have a lot of faith in terms of Rift being online for much longer, but that's just me. I could be totally wrong, but who knows?
Well, it's interesting. I was listening to the Massively OP podcast with Justin and Bree today, and they're chatting about that. And Justin would put Rift in the top 10 of MMOs of all time. A real good game. And he was like, they were like a little upset with the PR that came from them.
Mm-hmm.
It was almost like they wouldn't really answer the question. It's like, just let us know you're really caring about this game still.
Right.
So I can't recommend anyone play this game if literally you're going to be giving like, well, it's 10 years old. I mean, nothing else. Like, are you going to put devs behind it? I mean, what's happening with it? So yeah, Rift is a fun game. I played a lot of it. One of my earlier videos I ever made, like about 8 years ago, were about playing Rift.
I could kind of see that. I can understand why it'd be in the top 10 because I think they're the ones that put that massive. I know there's a name for it, and definitely chime in if you remember. But like, where people gather together at a particular time to do like these massive battles against a boss, and in Rift's case it's called Rifts. You know,
Yeah, they're called rifts.
I know Defiance tried to do something similar to that. I forgot what they called it, but like they tried to do the same thing as Rift, where certain times of the day came together for a big massive boss fight. Guild Wars 2 does it with their dragons and stuff like that. So yeah, I feel like they did set off a certain, I guess, gameplay feature, I guess, within MMOs that hasn't really done that until Rift started doing it, I guess you could say. Let's see. I think that's pretty much it. I mean, if I can just really quick, because these aren't MMOs, I know a lot of us
Sure.
grew up with Age of Empires, and they finally officially released the Age of Empires 4, if you're curious about
What?
that.
It got released?
Yeah, no, not released.
Huh?
They're announcing it. They're doing a
Oh.
gameplay reveal trailer next month or 2 months from now.
I missed that. I mean, I thought it was on their email list. Okay.
Well, they're doing a reveal trailer. So yeah, Age of Empires 4 is officially has been announced. And the other game that I wanted to talk about again that isn't an MMO, hang on, would be
Valheim.
no. Oh yeah. No, we won't talk about that. It's fine. It's another mech game, like similar to MechWarrior Online, but it's
Oh right.
it's called Gilead 3039 if you are a mech fan, but just putting that out there. But that's all I wanted to say.
Someone Cat was playing. Ketchup was playing Titanfall 2 because she heard that Titanfall 3 is coming out.
Oh,
I know
okay.
that's not a that's a massively multiplayer game. I wouldn't call it an RPG game, but right?
No, Titanfall. So the first Titanfall is more of a online first person shooter. Titanfall 2 actually has similar to Titanfall 1, but it actually has a storyline, like a single player campaign. Okay. The first one didn't. So yeah, none of the titles are actually MMOs.
Okay, my bad. I played them, but that was a long time ago. Okay.
Yeah.
All right, that's it then. That's all our dailies.
That's it.
All right. By the way, if you're not watching Solomon on Coffee and RPGs, you better, because the information you get is a lot more fresher. That's improper English. It's fresher off of the web than hearing it now. Okay, so once a week versus what he's putting out there 7 more times a week. And clearly, today's show will have on this show will have on its thumbnail a picture of that dog. Because guess what? How do you draw in people to do clickbait? You do show a dog. Okay, so there you go.
Dogs and the American flag.
That's right. All right, next up. All right, it is time for our main story quest. So like I should do like a main event type thing, but So this is where we, the Trinity Bros, gives you our Trinity wait, no, what?
Trinity Mo. Guess I'm the only one that's not tired.
Trinity MMO opinions. Okay. Anyways, where has the magic gone? My question for you guys, for myself too, is: do you still have that childlike wonder about MMO games, and especially the ones you cherished in the past? I'm going to start off because on one level, yes. Oh my gosh, the excitement of jumping into a game, either brand new or a patch, like when it was classic, WoW Classic a couple years ago, or WoW, the retail for Shadowlands, or for jumping into Elder Scrolls. Yes, but it fizzled really fast. Okay, the childlike wonder was there, going, yeah, okay. Back to this again. Okay, just the same game, but a little different flavor to it. So sometimes I have that childlike wonder, and yet I don't have it the same way. When I think back about my original MMO games for like Dark Age of Camelot, just getting on and trying different things, or even playing Warhammer or Rift, okay, or even Lord of the Rings, it was always that those brand new titles, like it brought that childlike wonder out of me. Go, oh yeah. But then it fizzle. Right now, I mean, I'm like What do I want to play? Literally, that's my reaction. What do I want to play? I'm like, look at the stare at desk going, what will entice me to want to spend hours playing a game? And I'm like, I don't know. Not really much right now. I mean, Railroad Tycoon 2. Wait a minute. That's a 20, 30-year-old game. No, I'm just kidding, babe. But how about Iron Harvest, or playing Valheim? I don't know. Anyway, Solomon, what do you think, right? Do you still have a childlike wonder about MMO games, especially the ones you cherished in the past?
How do I answer this without getting too existential? Because
By answering it
I
existential.
actually did think about this, but on a more broader term, and I'll just go into it just very briefly here. I remember I was thinking back when I was a child and thinking of like even when my cousins were little kids, like they were so excited to see us, like me and my brother, when their parents, um, my uncle, my aunt, obviously told them that we were coming over from California because they lived up in Washington, and they couldn't sleep because they were so excited, right? And I remember thinking like that too, when I would see my cousins from Korea or my other family members, where oh man, we're gonna see my cousins and not being able to sleep because I was so excited and stuff like that. But that it's like, man, it would be so great to feel that again, just in general, not just when talking about just games, right? And I'm like, I haven't felt like that since I can't even remember because it's been so long. And it's like, you could probably go into like your developmental process in terms of like why that doesn't happen anymore. But anyways, going back on topic, in terms of games, like I can't. Yeah, I haven't experienced anything like that for a very long time when it comes to games, but in just general, too. Uh, yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong. There's lots of games out there where I'm looking forward to playing. It's like, oh yeah, this is gonna be really cool. Oh, this game is doing that and this and the other that I haven't played before. I mean, I felt like that when Cyberpunk 2077 came out. I still immensely enjoyed it. Thought it was very cool. I'm still immensely looking forward to Star Citizen and Ashes of Creation. But in terms of like that feeling where it's like, oh man, I cannot wait to get my hands on a copy of this game because X, Y, and Z, and I can't stop thinking about it, and I can't sleep because I'm so excited. That that I wish I could experience something like that, but it hasn't happened since I would say since like my Guild Wars 1 days, my early 20s. Like I remember being very enamored with Guild Wars 1, and they'll announce like an expansion or something, and we all got excited, not just me. I think being part of a community and just a close knit of people actually helps with the hype as well, because you kind of feed it off of each other's energy. And I remember just being very excited, all together with all my friends who play that game and stuff. And those are a lot of fun times, and just looking forward to like the Christmas events for your favorite MMOs, and just being able to like experience like something different, something new, something wholesome, and things like that. But again, that's all from what I could recollect early 20s, and everything just kind of tapered off from there. So but yeah, it's a really good topic. I'm really glad you brought this up because I do like feeling nostalgic. I do feel I do like thinking about the past like that. But yeah, it's unfortunately something that's yeah.
There you go. You got the millennial angst. Okay, what happened several years ago when he was in his 20s. Okay, so you already heard some of the angst from the boomer here. Okay, what's interesting for me is that, see, I'm an aeronautical engineer, and so I've been designing airplanes, working on airplanes for the last 35 years. I still have that awe and sense of going out to the factory and just touching the airplane, or even at an airport, seeing him take off, going, that thing flies. I know the formulas, okay? I know the science behind it. But still, when you see a 747 lumbering down the runway, just taking off, it's like, wow. And that's what I want to still have with games too. And I still have that some respect because I love what they're doing. That's why I kickstarted these games, because I think what they're doing is great ideas. So okay. So now we're gonna hear from Gen X, okay? different perspective. Okay, we'll see what his angst is. So, but before you do that, Judge Azio, I'm point right. Rick made a comment. I haven't felt that way about games since probably the PS2 era. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
about
So,
right.
Jaziel, you're up. What do you think about this?
Childlike wonder. MMOs instantly takes me back to EverQuest. 1999.
No one says it anymore, right? Ding.
So my 20s.
Gosh, EverQuest. What is that game?
Yeah, it's still around.
I know.
Man, I remember it. I mean, right now I'm smiling, and I just had an endorphins just firing off, and it had dopamine drop there in my head. It's crazy how that thought of just being in this completely new, well, I want to say the name of an upcoming MMO, but a completely new world. And I will say that I agree with Solomon. I think more so it would not have been as impactful and as memorable and as cherished in my memories, and had that firing off of the good stuff in my brain, had it not been for the people that I was grouping up with and killing all those orcs and giants and dragons and trolls and other little miscellaneous things in that world, and traveling in that world and going to brand new zones with each expansion and finding new quests and all that is awesome. But it was more so because it was with a really good group of friends that we got on. And I think another part that I have to recognize, again, you could probably dig really deep, as Solomon was insinuating there, and get really into the philosophy of it. But there is another aspect of it that I think applies to me in a way that back in those days and the early WoW days and everything, I was working. So it was like cherished time, because I was working 12-hour shifts, 4 or 5, sometimes 6 days a week. And so I had very limited time to play. So I would sit at work that last couple of hours of my shift going, oh, can't wait to get home and play some WoW. Can't wait to get home, or play Dark Age of Camelot with my friends that left EverQuest for it or whatever, and now it's like I have all day. Well, not really. I'm a single father of 2 teenagers and a dog, so, as I said earlier, so I don't have all day, but kind of. I have a lot more time to play, and I'm not as restricted. And they say absence makes the heart grow stronger, and that also plays a part in it. That when I was working those long hour shifts on the ambulance, and I only had a couple hours to play and then off to bed, unless I wanted to drive myself crazy and not sleep, which I did a few times. I admit it wasn't healthy and I don't recommend it. Because I had that limited time and I wasn't able to play all day like I can now, it gives you that much more appreciation, and sticks with you a little bit longer. Um, and I would say that going back to the friends thing is why right now, recently especially, like World of Warcraft and Elder Scrolls Online to a degree, haven't felt as enjoyable to me, and they don't have that when I hop on. Even backing up before I even log on, you just said something, Ken, that I'll repeat. I sit there and I'm like, do I really want to hop on the game, or do I just want to watch YouTube, or do I want to get on Disney Plus, or do I want to go rewatch The Office every season again, which I do once a year, or Star Trek The Next Generation, which I do once a year. Yeah, I know that sounds insane, but whatever. I'm a nerd. I told you guys. Um, I I have been doing that more and more. I'm not going to say it's age. I don't think it's age. I think it's that more and more of my friends aren't playing the same game anymore, and more of my friends are getting out of MMOs. They're not feeling rewarded by their experience in MMOs, so they're going and playing first-person shooters and battle royales and MOBAs and God bless them, all those other games. That when new games MMOs are coming out, they're going, yeah, it's the WoW killer. Well, I've been hearing that for a decade and a half now. It's gonna just fizzle. It's gonna disappear like Rift, or, or like WildStar. Give it 5 years. It'll go in maintenance mode, just like the rest of them. I'm not going to pay. I'm not going to invest any money into that. If it's free to play, maybe. And I think that's what's missing right now is you also mentioned, whenever we were doing Classic, man, that first month was awesome. That definitely, I remember that first month, man, we had all them GMA and God Squad and all them other group people that came along and played with us. And man, that first, like that first 4 weeks was amazing. And then it died. But during that month, it was really fun. Again, it's because of the people that were there. And I just, like I unsubbed from World of Warcraft here just a couple weeks ago because I kept getting on in the evenings and there was like nobody on. And I was asking different people, hey, what's going on? Do you still play the game? Or are you going to come back? Am I just getting on at a different time than you? And everybody just had this kind of, again, going back to what Ken was saying, they all expressed this, I don't really feel like getting on right now. I kind of want to just do something else.
Well,
And I think that's the childhood wonder of it. It's just kind of like,
and that's the thing about, I think everybody also had different schedules, okay? It's like you
It's true.
committing people, I mean, back in my WoW days, right? People committed themselves to being on these different times to go
True.
do these different raids, okay?
Oh yeah, yeah.
And it's hard right now. Even people, even though we on the West Coast here, we all have West Coast people who play, yet they play at different times. I mean, I tend to be an early going to bed, early to rise, early to bed. So 11 o'clock, I'm out, okay? Well, I know other people are still like 11, 12, 1 o'clock are still playing. I'm like, what the?
Yeah.
I can't do that, okay? I actually did delay my bedtime by an hour. I shifted my whole schedule over an hour later so I could do more. But it's like that's why I thought about going back to ESO because there's a wonderful guild there, our
True.
morning song, and they're doing stuff. But even they do things at 5 p.m. Pacific. And I'm like, I'm finishing work at 5 p.m. Pacific. Which is 8 p.m.
Right.
Eastern time. I get it. Okay. It makes sense for them. I'm like,
Sucks to
maybe
be
they
you.
do. I know.
I'm just kidding. I'm kidding.
I know.
I mean, I do wonder how much of it is us and how much is the game. Is there also an aspect of the games that aren't giving us that
Yeah, both.
random? Is it random Rick review?
Yeah.
Okay, I thought I was reading that right. I was talking about about EverQuest and how it was the first of its kind. So we'd never had an MMO before
Right.
that. We had MUDs and stuff. All you older people my age and Ken's age will maybe know those. Solomon's age, I don't know. Probably not. You're probably too young. But you might remember your parents playing them. They were word-based. Most of them were word-based. Some of them had graphics. But as far as like a full screen, well, it wasn't full screen at first. Actually, it was a little box with stuff all around it.
Right.
And its UI absolutely was atrocious. But it was the first of its kind. And so, yeah, naturally, you're going to have that wonder because it's a whole new thing. And it was just so cool that it wasn't like the first-person shooters and things of its time where you had a limited group of people who could get on at the same time. It was like it didn't matter how many friends. If you had 20,000 friends, they could all get on and play together. It was, of course, no one has that many. I don't think. Maybe Elon Musk, but it was just an amazing time, man. But it does make me wonder how much of it is the games too, because it just seems like they do a lot of copy and paste kind of
Mhm.
stuff,
Well,
taking old assets and just kind of putting a new coat of paint on them and just regurgitating.
everything you're saying are the things that I know that we've had Lurker on several times. Okay, Lurker would say is not Final Fantasy 14. It's got good story, good mechanics, good graphics, and you get the
Okay.
people together as because they're a free company, right? They just have a blast. Okay, everything we're
I,
saying that we want to have, they're saying is in Final Fantasy 14, and
yeah,
I'm
I
like,
know. Lurkers. Yeah, he's shared that with me and said, I don't know why you don't like it. And I'm like, I don't, I've tried, man. I have, Lurker, if you're listening, I've tried.
nah, he's eating
I
right now.
have reinstalled it at least 8 times and tried for like a week each time. And I just get to the end of that week and I'm like, ah, there's
I
something
know.
about it. I just can't.
Well, Random Rick mentioned the other pay to plays around his Final Fantasy 11, which when it first came out, I dabbled a little bit with it, but I just couldn't get into it really. I've not played it at all. But apparently, I guess Random says it has a pretty nice community too.
Well,
Mm,
going back to what Sir Jazeel said earlier about how much of it is the game and how much of it is us, I couldn't help but to think of the Lazy Peon's I think most recent video about the current state of MMORPGs, and
mm,
he has a very pessimistic view on it.
yes.
So
He does.
definitely check out that video if you haven't seen it. I kind of agree, but there's also a part of me that disagrees too, but that's not really near here nor there, so I'll leave it at that.
That's fine. You could agree or disagree. That show, by the way, was on Tuesdays, okay? But hey, so
Watch it.
guys, what else? I mean, I didn't want to cut you off there. I wanted to interact with that, but you
Yeah,
got anything else?
I do recommend Lazy Peon's video about the state of MMOs right now. I can't remember what the exact title was. Maybe Solomon's got it pulled up there. But it was pretty good. And there were some things that I was like, I don't think that's hitting it quite on the mark. But there were a lot of things that Lazy Peon did point out. And by the way, Lazy Peon used to be an avid World of Warcraft video content creator on YouTube. Like, he was more into WoW than I was, which is saying a lot because you all know I am a huge World of Warcraft fan, and he was even more of one than me. So he's almost on the insane side, or was. And then he stopped. He just was like, I just feel like I'm a rat in a cage, running on that little spinny wheel, or that you put your hamster, or your rat, or your mouse, or whatever weird pet
Right.
that you kiddos have these days. You know, you're just on that wheel and you're just running, no reason, no reason. It's not going anywhere, and he just got to feeling that way. And it does cover what we're talking about a little more detail. So
Yep, that's true. I mean, the way he talked about it, the fact that he was like brand new. Well, no, game like 10 years ago. It was like, oh my gosh, if this was the state of the game today, can you imagine what 10 years be from now? And you're 10 years later going, I'm gonna make videos about other games, okay? I'm done doing MMO stuff, It's like he wants to do New World, possibly. He's gonna do Valheim. It's like, different things that like the way that things are, the way that we should be are not there. I'm trying to find the video. I can't find it right now on my
yeah,
history
I don't.
list.
I do not. He kind of alluded to that. He thinks MMOs are kind of dead unless something comes out that reinvents the wheel,
Right.
and he didn't have much faith in that happening.
Well,
Um,
that's the reason why I
so
started like Camelot Unchained
mhm.
and Ashes of Creation and Chronicles of
Oh, for
Lyria
sure.
and Crowfall and other stuff too.
Well, and that's another reason why I was asking, and apparently they didn't listen. With New World, I was saying, you guys don't bow down to people. Don't don't try to be like other MMOs. You need to keep your identity. And unfortunately, they've started adding dungeons. They've started adding more PvE content to the extent of it's just going to be another MMO. I felt like the PvP aspect, even though I'm not huge into PvP, being heavy PvP was going to give them that unique um, niche or whatever you want to call it in the field of MMOs, and I feel like now they've kind of lost that. It's just I don't know. Maybe they'll do the same things other ones are doing, but they'll actually do them better. I'm
Yep.
cheering them on. I hope that happens for them, especially since Amazon Game Studios has had so many losses in the last 2 years. It'd be nice for them to get a win. I'm cheering them on. There's a lot of good folks over there, so
Yeah, a lot
I
of
don't know.
life itself makes you get older and you lose some of the awe of life. Okay, so we get that. Okay, that's why it's like
That's
sometimes it's not just the fact that a game itself or the games themselves aren't doing it anymore. And kind of is a little bit, kind of isn't. But I know we keep trying to search for that holy grail again we had before, like when I downed the Lich King with my guild, right?
Oh yeah,
Do that again, okay? Or just to have it. That's why you want to recapture. That's why doing Shadowlands or maybe the way that you recapture it, but different people, different time, different things. And I'm not as committed as I used to be. So
that's
yeah,
true.
but that's okay. I mean, that's where I'm thinking. I still want to have that awe. That's why I asked that question. Okay, so
Hmm.
all right, we're done for Storyline Quest. Now comes up something else. It is now time for our escort quest, where we escort you to. We lead you to safety, XP, and eventually of a lifetime. Okay. So one of the questions that comes up, especially when it comes to MMORPG games, is the business model. So I asked the question, what business model do you prefer? There was a MMORPG.com question about it. I mean, you talk about it. There's the Guild Wars version where you basically buy the game, you buy to play, no subscription. Period. Okay. There are other games where you buy the game and you have a subscription. Like World of Warcraft. Okay. There is buy the game, have a subscription, or free to play. SWOTOR, ESO. Okay. And there are games that just flat out free to play. Okay. And a subscription or not. Okay. So I thought it's out there. Like, what was the best choice out there? Because somehow, while all different models, no one company seems to do it the same way. And I know that when SWOTOR went free to play, they crapped out stuff on that game, and it made people really, really mad. Okay. And yet, when you think about what ESO did, people say, "Oh, that was a pretty good free to play experience." Okay, I can join if I want to or not. So, and Champions Online is a total free to play game. Yeah, you can subscribe to it, okay, but you also play free to play. There are other ones like that too. I think even Star Trek Online is a free to play game. So Zia, what is your preferred model when it comes to games?
Hmm.
I thought we weren't supposed to talk
Well-
about politics. I'm just kidding. Go ahead.
It could go there, but I'll stray from it. I would say that I have to think of this from the player's perspective and from a business perspective, and I'm able to do that because, as I've said before, I at one point was aiming for a business degree. Did get my bachelor's degree in business administration, but I, of course, went and ended up going to seminary after that. So the little bit that I can say for sure is that you need to pay your devs. And it takes money to make money, and all those other cliches are true. And you want to be able to afford to keep those servers open. You want to be able to afford to pay people to continue to be in that think tank room and thinking of new things, which end up in it being expansions and major patches in the game, content that keeps your players playing the game is very important. And that all takes a lot of money. Um, so on the player side, would it be nice to have a game that you didn't pay for at all and you didn't have to pay anything at all ever? Yeah, on the player side, but on the other side, unfortunately, that just is not going to work for a long period of time. That's just going to result in a dead game, and we've seen it time and time and time and time again. What I can say is we can look at what these companies are making and kind of make a judgment call on what seems to work best, who maintains and keeps their audience, retains their audience, not maintain, retains their audience the longest, who is able to capture that childhood wonder um, enough to draw people back to the game uh, when they do leave, and who is able to push out really, you know, pretty cool expansions and major patches. And of course, we do come up with the big four with that number. Big five, some people would add a fifth one, which would probably include myself. Um, and the problem with that is that you do see that all four, and actually all five of those games, if you add the fifth one, they're all different. They're every one of the things that Ken just said. You've got the game, just to reiterate, you've got the game that you purchase expansions and you pay a subscription every month. You've got one that you purchase the game for a very heavily discounted price, talking ESO here. Usually like $10 if you can cash it on sale. But you can pay for a subscription that gives you some really cool bonuses that you really don't want to miss out on. Or you can buy the DLCs individually as well as cosmetics. You've got Guild Wars 2 that you don't have to buy the core game, but you do have to pay for the expansions, and you do pay for little things like expanded bag space, expanded bank space, cosmetics, stuff like that. Um, and so on and so forth. So, again, we could keep going with all the alterations of that. Uh, as far as what works best, I mean,
Whoa, 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 whoa!
World of
What you want?
well, what I want.
Yeah, what is your favorite
Well,
way to play the game?
as a player who's also business minded and wants the company to be successful and to continue for decades, I'm willing to. I would rather let's put that, if it was up to me, I would rather either the game is free, but you do have to pay a monthly subscription. That's reasonable. And let's face it, $15 a month is not that much money, guys. That's like 2.5 Starbucks drinks. I mean, that's easily a run to McDonald's for one person these days.
That's true.
Taco Bell, you can buy a bit more, but then you get massive diarrhea afterwards. So I don't recommend that.
It's also true.
It's not that much money. It's been $15 a month since 2004, guys. They haven't raised the cost of the subscription. So that says something. That's pretty awesome, because most companies would.
That's right.
Netflix has raised their rates. Amazon Prime's raised their rates. Everyone else has raised their rates for subscription-based products.
Yep. Blizzard has
So I would rather either do that, or you pay for the game and you pay something reasonable depending on the size of the expansion, because sometimes it's a small expansion. We know that. And sometimes they're huge and they've got tons of content. Um, I would rather do one or the other. I don't like the idea that I have to buy the game at full price, buy expansions at full game prices, $60 and up, and also pay $15 a month for a subscription. And I can say it doesn't necessarily turn me away, but it turns a lot of potential customers away, potential players, because they don't understand, why do I have to do both? And I completely understand that. So
yeah.
I admire that Elder Scrolls Online kind of gives you that ability to do that, where you purchase the game for super cheap. Like I said, it's usually like $10 for the core game. And you can pay for the monthly fee if you want, but you don't have to. And Guild Wars 2, again, the core game, you can play it for free. But if you want to buy stuff, then you can buy stuff through the shop, and none of it's pay to win, which I absolutely love. The expansions are usually super cheap, so yeah, it as far as nail it down, Jaziel, tell us what you want, and move on to Solomon. It would be either have us pay for the game, pay for each expansion, or don't make us pay for the game, but we do have to pay a subscription. Not both.
Yeah.
That's highway robber. Well, it's
Well,
not, but
so I look at back thinking like I like to try a game first before buying it, just because that's why I
absolutely.
do beta at times. I'm not really into the idea of helping them out. I don't mind helping them out with bugs and whatnot, but I want to see the gameplay, see if I like it or not, and then buy it. I'm going to buy it once I like it, and then I'm thinking like
Yeah,
I would much prefer a subscription from that point on. All DLCs, all expansions are based around my subscription to you. Okay. I
yes,
mean, if you're really going to tell me that's going to cost me much more to buy another expansion because it costs a lot of money, I get that. I'm thinking, but you're already doing all that work anyways, and you get all the money for a sub anyways. And like, I'll pay $10. I mean, I much prefer paying $10, a month for a sub than $15. Yes, I know, same price we've been paying for 15 plus years for World of Warcraft, and you think
yeah,
about the money you spent over the last couple, decade or so, you're like, wow, okay.
six
That's
thousand
why
dollars.
I appreciate the games who do have free to play. Hey, try a game out. But then again, it's because they're established. A game that comes out is free to play. So let me try it and then buy it. But then again, there are a lot of people who have been free to play, try it, and then not buy it. And so you're like, where is that business guy? Like you said, I agree. I want to make sure the companies can succeed. It costs money to do this. It costs money to hold the servers, people to run the servers. It costs money for the devs and the artists and the coders and everything involved. So I understand supply demand. I don't mind, and I appreciate that, and I will buy the game for that. If you wanted me to be my whole, well, I think is the best way to do it. I would like to try it out, then buy it in a monthly sub. The free to play stuff with you can buy stuff. I'm like, I don't know. I mean, I'm not really big into the whole idea of pets or mounts or those kind of things of the glamour stuff. And so that's why I don't bother with those kind of things. But I would like to be able to have opportunity to buy them if I wanted to. So why not? Let them have an opportunity to do that. Not loot crates type stuff, but something that allows them to
Oh
actually do
no.
something.
Yeah.
All right. Solomon's back. It is time to go to you. What do you think about what's your preferred model for games?
One sec. Sorry. Okay. Um Actually, I think there's one model that you left out, and that's
Oh,
free to play with a battle pass system.
okay.
Oh,
Although,
Battle Pass.
yeah.
Okay.
Although, to be fair, there isn't a whole lot of games or MMOs specifically that does that, and even then, the games that claim to be MMOs that does that aren't really MMOs, and I'm talking about mobile platforms or mobile games.
Hmm.
I mean, I guess you could argue that Black Desert Online kind of does that, but it's more of a buy to play with the battle pass system, and even then, their battle pass system only exists within their season servers and not the actual like regular content. I think Dauntless might do something like that. I'm not exactly sure. I haven't played that game
Dauntless
yet.
does, yeah.
Oh, does it? Yeah. And so there's that system too. I think I mean, I wouldn't really call Fallout 76 an MMO, but I mean, you could fall into that category. Well, anyways, you get the idea. Uh Man. Yeah, this is tough because as Sergio Zil said earlier, you kind of want to have a balanced approach, because you do want something that's very consumer friendly, but at the same time, you also want the devs to get paid so they can continue making the game that you actually love. So that being said, I have grown to really enjoy buy to play games
Hmm.
because there are going to be seasons where I just don't want to play the game anymore, but I probably will given enough time that has passed. And so it's always good to know that the game will be there for me to be able to play and not necessarily play catch up. Not in a traditional sense where in terms of the content, but like with like a battle pass system, it's like, if you miss out, you miss out. You can't get those items back, right? Um Whereas if it's buy to play or even pay to play, it's like the content is there for everybody regardless of whether you pay or not. Uh Respectively to each of the games that, use a particular either or of those payment options. So, but in all fairness, and I think the way to go though, that I think the best way, the best business model is pay to play, in my opinion, because, well, let me put it to you this way: when a game is pay to play or any other type of payment options, there are certain expectations that you have when you think of those type of business models. And so when you think of a game that's only pay to play, you don't expect a game to have a battle pass system. You don't expect a game to have a cash shop typically. And whereas, if you think of a game that's free to play, then yeah, you typically think of a game that's going to have a very extensive cash shop, battle passes, an optional pay to play feature that gives you additional benefits. And then you get into the argument of whether or not that's all pay to win, but that's another story. So to keep everybody in the same boat while also giving the developers what do you call it, a constant stream of revenue that's more predictable than free to play games, I would argue. I think in all fairness, yeah, I think pay to win wow, pay to play would be the best route to go. And the game that I'm thinking of, I believe, that said that and that made a really good argument for why they're going pay to play would be Corepunk, which is the isometric cyberpunk sort of dark fantasy MMO that's coming out hopefully maybe this year or maybe next year, who knows. And yeah, they actually did a pretty good job at reasoning why they decided to go with that payment option rather than anything else. Now, whether or not they're going to continue that business model until the game's death is debatable, is questionable, because as we saw in the early 2010s, a lot of these MMOs, that were initially pay to play ended up going free to play, with some variation of that. Star Wars: The Old Republic, The Elder Scrolls Online, and countless other ones. There were initially pay to play games, and they had to switch to kind of change with the times, because the market kind of dictates that, and I don't blame them, because if they haven't have gone that route, then those games might have gone offline, and then nobody would have been able to enjoy the game. So me personally, I think the best option is pay to play, but I think realistically it's free to play. But me personally, I like a buy to play. So there's my answer
No, thank
to
you.
all those.
So Guild Wars 2 is a buy to play model ultimately, right? No sub, no free to play, so it's because it's just buy to play. There is a kind of a cash shop, I think, right? But
Yes.
no, right? But otherwise, that's the best model.
Cosmetics
Yeah.
and what do you call it? Quality of life items.
Yeah. Which we almost saw. I mean, one point they were going to go out of business, or they were laying people off. So we were questioning whether Guild Wars 2 was going to survive. So it makes you wonder if they actually had a model that would go on. But that is the way it works. Okay. All right. Obviously, everybody you're watching on Twitch or on YouTube, whatever your opinions are, we'd like to hear it too. What's your favorite model? What is your favorite model of playing the game? And don't forget also what is your has the luster, not the luster, as the I don't know, the awe of childhood, the awe of a brand new game lost its luster. I don't know, but All right, so that's it for our escort quest. We hope you got there safely. I think you did. We didn't lose you. That's good. Anyways, so next up is our world events. We don't have anything coming up really directly. So Rick says he's not a fan of subscription models. Fair enough. So we have world events coming up. Our ESO expansion in June. I think we're still playing that. Still having New World in August. Okay, maybe a Diablo release. I'm not sure. So, but there's more coming. We'll let you know. You can join us on that. We'll let you have some part of that. So, yeah, if I haven't mentioned anything, but if I think you're missing from anything we're doing in the show, we always love to hear from you guys. Let us know, okay? And yeah, it's a good point. What would be a fair price for a monthly sub? Very good point. All right, our quests are done. The dungeons are cleared, and the loot has been distributed, and all the crafting orders have been completed. It's now time to go AFK. Or if you're playing BDO, AFK fishing. All right, Solomon, where can we find you at?
You know.
Traditional. We're doing that thing in Ditto.
Trademark.
Coffee and RPGs. I've been, I released a video for the first time in almost a week, and I do apologize for that, but I just been swamped with work, with overtime, and not only that, I've been. There's a book that I purchased from Daryl Eves, and if you don't know who he is, he's I believe one of the executive producers for one of the biggest crowdfunded TV web series called The Chosen, which follows the life of Jesus Christ. But he's also a huge YouTuber coach.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he's actually the reason, I wouldn't say the reason why, but one of the reasons why Mr. Beast is so big. Mr. Beast actually went to him and was like, how do I grow my YouTube channel? And this was back when Mr. Beast only had maybe 3 million, 4 million subscribers. And so because of I guess of Daryl Eves' coaching, he was able to blow up because they started to look at analytics and what works and what doesn't work. Anyways, sorry, I'm going off track, but I purchased this book called the YouTube Formula, and I'm about halfway through, and I'm already learning a lot. And so definitely expect some changes within my own channel, trying to utilize some of the benefits of going through my analytics and changing the way I do my thumbnails and stuff like that. And so yeah, that's one of the reasons why I haven't been making videos, because I've just been studying up on what to do and what not to do. So I do appreciate everybody's patience for that. But yeah, definitely cool. But yeah, that's it. Coffee and RPGs for now.
All right, Sir Jazil, who by the way is streaming again. Where can I find you at?
Yeah. So yeah, October 30th of 2020. That was my last stream, and I wasn't sure. It just seemed like every time that I was gonna come back, that something got in the way, and I took it to the Lord, because I was like, well, maybe this is just not the path that I'm gonna be on, and I'm gonna go do some other things. But it appears as of yesterday, I'm officially back doing my live streams on Twitch at Sir Jazil. You can catch me Friday through Monday at 2 to 6, well, roughly 6 p.m. Pacific. And yeah, love to see everyone there. Other than that, you can get a hold of me on Discord. I'm pretty much watching Discord like a hawk, 12 hours a day. So if you need to get a hold of me quickly, that's the best place to get a hold of me. However, you can message me through direct message or whatever, Whisper, whatever they call it on Twitch. You can get a hold of me there as well. I'm still off of social media and loving it. It's been nice not seeing all the craziness in the world. And my faith in humanity's kind of killed a little bit since getting off of Twitter and Facebook, I gotta tell you.
Fair enough.
Yep. All right, you can find me at Kennethan here on my channel, okay? Also on Kennethan Live on Twitter, and also on Discord, God Activated, place you can find me at too. And so thank you for everyone being here. We appreciate everybody who's stopped by and said hi or gave us a comment or whatever. Once again, if you're on YouTube, go ahead and put comments below. whether you're on Solomon's Copy RPG's channel or mine. Love to hear from you all. And so thank you so much for being here. And we'll be here again next week for another show, the Trinity MMO Show.